Today I actually might be able to get it some scheduled things that I've been prepping for, which is pressure washing the front of the barn. So kind of looking forward to getting that done. Then I noticed, man, it's about time I gotta do some trimming on some hedges. I might get at that today as well. And possibly getting some more of this wood that I bucked moved out of here and get the rest of it cut and or moved out. It's about time I get all that crap out of here. I tried that Still 2-in-1 sharpener at the end of the day yesterday, and it's a little awkward for me. And then I used just a round file, and that went much smoother for me. Got a much better result, and I'm much more consistent with it. I think there's just too much stuff going on with that Still, at least without practice and, you know, what do they say, a little bit of time under my belt with it. I think it would do a good job, but it's going to take me a while to get there with it. It's just got bars and files, round files, flat files, guide bars, lines. It's just, I'm thinking it shouldn't be that complicated to sharpen the saws on power saws, the chains on power saws. Got some new fittings. These are I think these should be 1 1/4. Let me see here. That looks like 1x1. Oh, it is a 1x1. These are 1x1s because I ordered some more 1 1/4 by 1 T's, and these will come out of the 1-inch piece of the T. That's because the lines coming into the house and stuff again are 1-inch, so I gotta connect into them, and then I gotta reduce because my line's 1 1/4 inch, and that's a 1-inch stainless 90. Anyway, fittings go into the fitting. This is the 1-inch stuff kind of down at this end here. All right, get back on this today, hopefully today as well, so I can I gotta get the electric stuff hooked up to it, which means I gotta measure out I gotta go to the pit and see how much line I need to run to the house line to splice into it. Man, you can really tell. So this is 250 1 1/4 poly pipe. You can see the wall diameter on that. It's much more beefier than the 100 psi stuff. I may return one of those rolls of the 100 psi. All right. This is pumping well stuff. Put that down here. Pitless valve installed on that pipe, which is a good thing. Okay, my other camera. Okay. Hopefully. See how this Teflon stuff does, and I'll have to wipe it off. It's kind of causing a bit of tarnishing with that brass. It's surprising. It doesn't make me a happy camper, that's for sure. Alright, so I need to go open up the shop and get my pressure washer stuff set up. Got some extra fuel up there with it, keeping those stink bugs out. Man, I found, may not be an improved means, but I found that carburetor cleaner kills stink bugs dead. So you got to use it in like spots where you can use it, but man, that's the only stuff I have ever found that really kills them damn stink bugs. And it does. I think jacks with their nervous system, because it sends them into a tizzy. Just doesn't hurt my feelings on those things, because they are the most disgusting bug that showed up maybe about 12 years ago, out of the blue and with a vengeance. Man, at the other property where we were, right off the canal, the C&D canal, those things were horrible, especially in what I called my dog house. I had a loft above my garage, really nice, finished off. Oh well, I'm monologuing here, but this is what is on deck. Alright, so I got it fired up. Now I need to load up. Up here, I need to clean some of this shit off a little here. Alright, folks, up and right in I go. Now, this guy, let me see here. Hopefully this guy is not plugged up. So now that was using that thing, which took me forever to get unclogged. I don't know how this shit gets clogged up, but I think I'm gonna use this guy here now, this long one, and I got that peak. It's not perfect, but it certainly is a shitload better. Man, having this lift makes stuff so much easier. So much easier. All right. So I'm fixing to move down, but you can see I'm up here a little ways. That's the top of the barn, and that's the bottom of the ground, or the ground. You can just see how massive these trees are now. It's a pretty good view up here. I can scope out the territory. Right on. So I've been using this one now. I'm going to go down a bit. See, it leaves streaks where it allows dirt to trickle out of these holes. It leaves dirt streaks, and man, you could be at this 12 hours and still get those streaks. So I'm just not going to worry about them. I'm just getting this mold and the heavy crap off. Rain and things will help deal with that. All right, back at it. Okay, so I'm making my way down. I moved forward. I'm gonna have to move back that way and go up again to work on that side over there a bit, and to be able to reach out as far as I can over that pit. And then I'll have to do that one by hand, that corner up a little higher, since I can't get this scissor lift into that ditch. But it's coming along. Everything now is working fine. Man, talk about a pain in the ass getting these things unplugged and sitting around for so long not used. Their nozzles were plugged up, so fortunately I have a little orifice cleaner kit that has some very fine wire to clean stuff out just like that for jets and things of that nature. So this is my clean the barn attire. This is my white spaghetti legs. At least I don't have a farmer's tan. A little bit of a different scene from down here, but I'm fixing to go up. Good, not in the ditch. Up here a little ways. In the wild blue yonder. Gonna get at some of this. I'm not gonna change. I'm not changing the gun out for the real long run. That's the bone, man. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so I'm fixing to go down a little bit here. Alright, so now start up. Try to move back just a little bit. I can't go back too far, but go back a couple of feet for sure. And I don't want to go back any further. I'll punch that cable. I might hook the long one on so I can reach out there and get that stuff. Probably be somewhat easier to get part of it from up here than from down there. So let's see what we can do here. I don't like this case I'm dealing with. The roll bar doohickey, it doesn't have fixed nuts. They're oh, that ain't it. I'm gonna swap my nozzles out here and blast that a little bit over there. Okay, so I got the barn, taste of the barn done, pressure washed. It's better. Like I said, some of those seams, dirt just pours out of it and it just keeps coming. So it's very hard to not have those yellowish rundown stains at some of the joints in the siding. So, but looks so much better. Now I'm onto my cable here for the pump, and while the cable has the foot markings on it, I just wanted to make sure. So I'm running basically about 125 feet, a little more, and that is for a 100-foot drop into the well. And then I'm fixing to, so it's like 126. There's a drop of 100 feet for the well, and I'm accounting for 5 feet to the top of the wellhead where it has to come up and out, which is a bit excessive, but nonetheless, rather have a bit more cable than a bit less. And then I think it's about 15 feet. Hey. Oh, my belly. I don't want to stumble into that pit of despair. This shit's hard. I'm not getting very good traction. There we go. So, God bless you thing. It was so close. Well, let me go back and get it again. So much for having a super duper tape. I think this is roughly like 15 feet though. God bless it. There we go. So that's 15 feet from the well casing to that white line down there, which is the electric running into the house. So that gives me 120, and I'm doing 126, and I'm not going to use all the 5 feet up there, that's for sure. Might actually I might. Let me see how far this is. Oh yeah. Let's see how far this is down here. Let's just see how far this is to the grade. Oh, that's actually, I gotta dig that out. So about 41 inches. That's 5 feet up here, so that should be plenty. 5 feet. 5 feet. 15 feet. Tells me $120 with the 100-foot drop, and I'm doing 126 feet, so should be fine. All right, then I got to measure. So that's 15 feet. I've got to measure these pipes I got to connect to. I think what I'm going to do is have the pitless with a straight fitting kind of pointing right along that main part of the trench there, and then that's not so much of a severe turn to make that turn there and to head in and connect into those 2 black pipes. And then I got to continue on, T here for a spigot, and then continue on and I gotta continue on to here, and I thought I had 1 water line there, but I've got 2, so then I gotta tee into those, the 2 smaller, the black and the smaller PVC. The larger is electric, so that is that. All right, I gotta cut this wire. I'm gonna cut this bugger and then getting on with here. I'll pick back up when I start the splicing. All right, pump wire, splicing materials. I got some more. There they are. All right. There we go. So I need to break this up to get my strands, and I did test fit. This is some of the bigger red stuff I have. I did test fit it. It does fit over this, but barely, but it does fit over it. So, but I'm not sure if it'll fit over the wires when they're all individually heat shrinked. I'm not sure it's that large unless I stagger the splices, which I may do that. Got this cut, so runs out to 126 odd feet out that way, and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna get at it. All right, so I am staggering them, which has made it a pain in the ass, because while this does slip over all the sheathing, it's a painful process, and you can get it on it over an inch or so, but then it just starts sticking and hanging up on it. So I ran some on there. I got the individual, each wire will be heat shrinked, and I am staggering them so they're not all bulked up. These are supposed to be good enough on their own, but I'm going to go ahead and sheath it with this other, and I think it's rated for aqua. water, oil, gas, so should be fine. But anyway, I'm on the yellow, black, got my heat shrink, my heat gun, and shrink them up, and then that should set this well. The pump was 12, but I went with 10. A little bit more costly, especially with the sheathing, but oh well, what are you gonna do? All right, I'll get back at it here. All right, so I haven't heat shrinked them yet, but everything's staggered, so it's not all in one big blob, and then hopefully I can get the big stuff over it. You know, hopefully. I say hopefully. We'll see here. So I did get every splice individually heat shrinked with with a underwater heat shrink. You know, it's got glue on it, and then I used some inventory that I had to cover all of those, and it's a pretty robust heat shrink with glue as well. So I'm letting that cool down, and then hopefully I'll be able to sheath that with one more that's a little bit longer, and I think that'll be more than adequate. Three layers of glued heat shrink. Also give it some strength, which I got to tie the rope onto this thing, but you know, that's just in case if you yank the wire or something, it's going to have some strength, not just rip right out. But anyway, I'll have the rope tied on there to help pull it out as well. That's what you're supposed to use, is the rope. So I've got long enough piece of rope. I'm going to tie knots in it. Last pump we pulled from down at the pond, and that was a pain in the ass. Anyway, let me let this cool down, and I'll put the third cover on. Triple wrapped. Each individual wire strand has wire has its own sheath. There's another sheath over all of those, and then there's another sheath over that, and each one is progressively longer. So I hope it works. It's all glue, you know. All the heat shrink, all of it used is glued. So yeah, see what happens here. I'm happy I got the red sheaths over, so that gives me a level of comfort. All right, well, I think that's about all I'm doing tonight. Oh, there she is. I'm fixing to just do some cleanup and shut it down. I was going to pressure wash the scissor lift, but I'll save that. Anyway, peace.